Hello, everybody. Welcome to Watkins, Glen, New York. Today, bringing you my own league, coming at you at a live, delayed broadcast from Stamp Studio Network. See a little Google Earth overview of the track. There's a chicane going across the bottom of your screen. That chicane is going to present lots of opportunities for our drivers today. Porsche Cup versus NASCUP going at it. Going to have one lap under yellow flag before we get to green flag. Now, I will take a little bit of the blame. Maybe you put a little bit on ChatGPT as well. You see Iron Boogsy coming in from PPC, cannot wait. Well, Iron Boogsy, take a look at Sean Stam back here in his NASCAR G56 next gen Chevy Camaro. Where do you think he is going to end up today? Versus, Justin Yaw. Do we have him up in the Sean, check your GM, Justin says. Sorry, just seen this. Yes, okay, Justin, if you can hear me, go ahead, join me in the Stam Studio Network broadcast booth on Discord, on my Discord. I'll get you a live view of these guys going at it, or about to go at it, as I should say. Man, we have Lawrence. He is able to get it. This is his first time in the NASCAR Gen 7 Cup Car. I offered to even buy it from him. He bought it himself. Looks like we have Justin up in the booth. I will unmute myself. Justin, how's it going, man? Appreciate you joining me. Man, just in time.
Sorry about that. I just seen the message and I was like, you know what? I ain't got nothing to do for just a little bit. Let me hop up in the booth with my man Sean.
Man, heck yeah. This is perfect timing. We just finished this race in real time, but gonna get a live broadcast replay for our fans and drivers that just participated. Who do you think's gonna win here, Justin? As I get you a live view of my screen on Discord, you think the Porsche Cup's gonna prevail here tonight, or you got the high horsepower of that NASCAR Cup car?
All right, so I'm not much of a Porsche guy. I ain't gonna lie. There's no sense in racing and turning right. If you got to turn right, you ain't gonna right. So anyway, I'm gonna take a Cup car. Got to.
Man, that might be a good pick. We're going to see as now green flag is out. Lawrence going to lead him to green very fast on that throttle pedal. Looks like Daniel Ash P2, and here comes Sean Stam out of nowhere P3. Going to lock up the front tires, make a little bit of contact with Daniel Ash. Sean Stam still able to keep his car straight. Now we have James Francone, one of the Aussies who just finished up in Bathurst. Man, if you are just now joining us or new in these Porsche Cup cars, zero ABS or TC between the two cars.
See, I didn't know that. Okay, all right. That's going to give kind of the Cup cars, I think, a little bit of advantage.
And when you say Cup car, are you meaning the NASCAR Cup car? You talking about the Porsche Cup?
The NASCAR Cup cars.
Okay, I got you, Justin. Well, pretty good racing early on. Looks like Daniel Ash able to get up to P2. Richard Woodruff and James Francone rounding out our top four. Thank you again all for joining in tonight here on this broadcast of Porsche Cup versus NASCUP here at the Stamp Studio Network.
It looks like Ash is trying to see if he can find a line, maybe run down our leader here. Not sure exactly, the distance. Comes back around 2.5 seconds. He'll make up a little ground as I go back into one here, but it looks like the leader, he's kind of hit a mark, kind of hit his line, and he is checking out. As that lead continues to grow, Sean.
And two guys going at it back here at NASCUP versus Porsche Cup. Dan Fendick versus James Andrew. Iron Bootsy saying NASCAR all the way as we're going to get side by side going into the bus stop.
Yeah, these guys are not checking up. It's going to be interesting as they come, through the tunnel turn here. Looks like the NASCAR Cup car going to get by there. we head back off into the little bootleg here.
Yeah, we see Iron Booksy in the chat say 13 is cooking. Indeed, he is. This is Lawrence. Very high road I rating for him. However, this is his first time within this NASCAR Cup car. I mentioned it early on within the race. I actually wanted to buy it for him to see how well he would be in this thing. Lawrence, you see a great look at his helmet here. This is heading into turn 1. Great run for him. Only practiced this NASCAR Gen 7 car for only about 10-15 minutes, and hopefully iRacing isn't listening, but it was my account as he's halfway across the world in the Netherlands, putting it to this Porsche Cup here early, Justin.
Yeah, he is hammered down as, goes to the bootleg there. I mean, to only practice 10 minutes, dude, that is insane. I mean, obviously high road rating is going to do something for you, but obviously if you're in a NASCAR Cup car and you don't have any seat time in it, I mean, let's be honest, you can be the world's best road racer, across the world, but when you hop in a car that you have no laps in, it's anybody's ball game.
Definitely so, man. I see on our graphics we cannot see the difference between Porsche Cup and NASCAR Cup. I will walk you through it right now. NASCAR Cup somehow leading right now against Porsche Cup. Daniel Ash running P1 in class. Richard Woodruff, this is a new name with us this weekend, running P2 in class. James Francone P3, Brian LaPratte P4. Sean Stamp running P2 in class in his very shiny NASCAR G56. James Andrew P7. So, Justin, I do want to mention really quick, as we just are getting through with this race in real time, I did have to throw a yellow halfway because yours truly screwed up the fuel strategy between the two cars, and so I just said, you know what, I'm gonna take away all advantages. I'm gonna throw a yellow in 10 minutes time, and that's gonna force everybody to come down the pit road. And could we possibly see a difference between maybe Lawrence and Daniel up front?
Yeah, I think so, Sean. I think, I think it's good to bundle them back up, and you really, our later could get out to, 10-second lead, but bundle them back up, getting off to a good start can lead to some stuff, but I think down the road, that caution really will bundle them back up and see, where you're at. You may have had a bad start, it looks like our leader is really stretching it out here, but when that caution comes out and they get bundled back up, I'll be interested to see if maybe he gets in a little traffic or something, or if he takes off back to the lead.
As we tick down from 25 minutes to go, gap between James Francone, one of our Aussie drivers here today, and then Brian LaPratte is really tight up and through the S's now.
Now, Sean, let me ask, buddy, how was it out there? Was it, was it hard racing the Porsche guys? Was it, were they pretty fair compared to running in the NASCAR Cup car?
So I'll be honest with you, Justin. That's a really great question, and quite frankly, I appreciate you asking me. As we're going to see Brian LaPratte kind of go wide through the chicane, maybe a little bit deep. There was countless time that I have kind of devoted to AI testing as well as testing with, oh my God, Sean Stamp going to make an amazing save. Going to go wide, continue to save it. I
Locks
tested
him up, sends it. Oh, Sean Stam with the save. That might have to look on our iRacing might have to look on that one and try to put that on the top 10 saves already.
That thing was Justin Yacht out there. And again, you mentioned great question there. I did have to add a little bit of ballast in these Porsche Cup cars here at Watkins Glen. The NASCAR just, quite frankly, too slow between the two with no ballast or engine power differential. However, next week we are going to cut to Phoenix, and that's the oval, Legacy Phoenix. These two cars versus each other. Actually, getting word now, I'm going to delay that a week with the Daytona 24-hour iRacing event. However, take a look at Porsche Cup Lawrence S going against Daniel Ash. It seems to me I've got the BOP just near, quite about right, is Daniel Ash only. Oh, I thought that was Daniel Ash, the back of the picture there. That's
Like a
one of the Porsches going down. Travis Farmer going down the lap. However, a yellow coming in just a few laps. Gonna present these guys to get more bunched up and a chance for, say, maybe Richard Lafroff or Richard Rodroff or James Francone, even Brian LaPratte, to get another chance to get their Porsches up here.
Now, Sean, let me ask, buddy, are we going to be rotating? So, like, say somebody runs the Cup Car or the NASCAR Cup Car, one week, can they switch over to the Porsche car the next week if they would try that, or are you stuck with the same car throughout the week?
Another great question coming out of the dog hand. This season one, I did want to hesitate on drivers switching between NASCAR and, oh my gosh, Brian LaPratte going to make a move here into the bus stop, going to pass James Francone. I did want to hesitate in switching drivers between class to class. However, this season one, I just said, you know what, go for it. Lawrence specifically, right before this race started, just bought the car. I mentioned just a few laps under practice under my account earlier, just a couple days ago, but
under an unnamed account.
yeah, there you go, better said.
Driver on file. We'll call it driver on file.
Exactly, but man, looks like the caution not just out just yet, but what do you, let me ask you, Justin, what do you normally race within the iRacing universe? And are you surprised to see a Gen 7 NASCAR Cup Car leading a car that's, designated for road racing?
Sure. Me preferably, I do a lot of the more oval style stuff. Example, yesterday, me and some buddies hopped in, and I probably got on about 6 o'clock yesterday afternoon, Central Time, God's time. So I hopped in yesterday and played until about 12 last night. We did a lot of the Draft Master stuff. So that's more my side. I do a lot of the dirt stuff. Very rarely do I do the road racing stuff. Just not my cup of tea, but it's fun stuff. But to see the NASCAR Cup Car, I think, me personally, I feel like it depends on the situation. Everybody's their own person here, but I feel like I'm not surprised to see the Cup Car up front. These cars, it seems to, when they go to a road course now, the big difference between the Gen 7 and Gen 6 here. But I feel like these Gen 7s are really good on road courses. To see our leader kind of overshoot the corner going down in the first corner there, missed it just a little bit. But I feel like they're more designed for it. It's cool to watch it get out here, especially mix it up with the Porsche Cup. Obviously, the Porsche Cup's more designed for the road style versus a Daytona, something like that. Now, I will say, I think it'd be cool to see a Cup Car and a Porsche trying to draft one another. That would be cool to see. But if you look at Sean Stam coming back around, now what was your take on that, Sean?
You kind of nailed it already yourself as we head on board with Sean Stam here going into the bus stop. Sure, this car has been kind of made, you could say, with road racing in mind. Wider tires, diffuser in the back as we see now. Even on that front splitter, sequential gearbox, you could keep going with the differences that have been made between the Gen 7 and the Gen 6 NASCAR as far as road racing goes in mind. But, James Andrew and Sean Stam, they have, last week, if you weren't able to join us, they were going at it at Le Mans, kind of back and forth, until James Andrew kind of got a little bit of a mistake into one of the deep straightaways at Le Mans, and then Sean Stam as well as Sean Roberts last week able to drive away. But we see Iron Booksy, Watkins Glen going to be fun for the Gen 6, he says in the YouTube chat. Definitely so. Something else that I noticed with iRacing, we're going to hop on board with Sean Stam again here. iRacing has chosen not to update the bus stop yet. And if you were on board with us with our Google Earth opening, NASCAR has revamped this bus stop, as you see Sean Stam coming through it now. It it was quite frankly just too aggressive on the drivers' noggins with the mouthpiece data that they were providing back to NASCAR. As Sean Sanborn's way ride looks like I thought he was about to take the different layout of the track. But
yeah, he tried to. I think he missed it. I think there was a banana peel out there from Mario Kart. He might have been out there playing Mario Kart.
Well said there out of Justin Yaws. He has seen it one too many times. Justin,
Now
hope
let me
to
ask
have
Sean.
you at the.
So let me ask. Obviously, where do you think each car has its advantage? As we're tuning in, watching these two Porsche Cup cars go at it. Where do you feel like each car kind of has the advantage and disadvantage?
Man, so you see these big wings in the back of these Porsche Cup cars. Again, no car with either traction control or ABS, but take a look at that big wing as we take a look back at Sean and even Dan back here running P8 at the moment. No huge wing on the back of this car, so quite frankly, the NASCAR is going to prevail in the longer straightaways as we see, Dan run wide just a little bit, brakes so hot you could grill a burger on him. But
I'll take my medium. Take my steak medium on them brakes.
That's something that just kind of happens in these cars. It's easier to push it a little bit too harder in the NASCAR, and then you get through the corner, have the brakes lock up, and you don't have the downforce from that big old rear wing to save your ass. But Justin, I hope that you're able to join me next week as we get into some short track stuff. I know that's a little bit more your style. Even next week, 2 weeks when we have the Porsche Cup go against the NASCUP at Legacy Phoenix. You think we're going to see horsepower prevail there at that Legacy Phoenix short track, or will the big old wing on the back of the Porsche Cups save their ass coming down the long straightaways at Phoenix Raceway?
Obviously, Sean, I'm a drag racer at heart, so I believe you're going to have the advantage with the NASCAR Cup cars in the straightaway. Now, corner-wise, I feel like the Porsche cars are going to have the advantage, and I feel like that's a lot to do here also at Watkins Glen. The high horsepower, Cup cars are going to have a lot more advantage going down the straightaway. But, you get to the corners like that, I feel like the Porsche cars are really able to get on the brakes a little bit later than the Cup cars. Obviously, probably a little bit lighter weight machine. So I feel like you can kind of manipulate the Porsche car a little bit more than you can the Cup car, but the Cup car makes it up in horsepower and just raw speed versus that.
Definitely so, and something that I found that these road course drivers weren't used to is Lawrence, I remember very vividly saying on the voice chat, what the hell's this Porsche doing? Matter of fact, that is the pace car. Now, you don't see anything on the graphics right now, but yellow flag is out. I have unfortunately miscalculated the fuel run for these two cars, so I had to throw a mandatory yellow on our race. Everybody going to come down into the pits. You don't have to take any service as long as you just at least come down and take that drive through, and that is what's going to present some tire change opportunities for maybe some of these drivers running just a bit further back in the pack.
Sure. And I also feel like, now, obviously I haven't run a whole lot of the Porsche stuff. Now, Sean, what's kind of our fuel cycle, fuel window, I guess, for everybody is, looks like somebody just said, the heck with the bus stop.
Yeah, under yellow, I gave him the old okay to do that as we send Travis Farmer to get back on the lead lap. But, do I say this live, Justin? Man, okay. I gave the authority to ChatGPT. I ran the lap count. I ran everything under it. It just didn't work. So what was 60% on the Porsche Cup and 80% on the fuel for the NASCUP didn't work as much as I thought it would. And now we're looking back at Daniel Ash. This is only going to end up helping out him. As you see that damage on the right front of his Porsche Cup car, these drivers with an ability to take a fast repair, just going to bunch them right back up like you said early on in the race, Justin.
Yeah, I think, obviously you can see kind of where your car's at going. You get that first little run, still got some time, to figure out, where I'm at. And maybe on the second run, you can kind of roll it in a little deeper. Time's ticking down. You got to start kind of making some moves here. So I'm interested to see where the Porsche guys can maybe try to make a move here to try to get to the lead.
Yeah, going to be interesting to see how this cycles out. Looks like Sean Stam and, the two NASCAR Cup cars going to cycle out towards the back of the pack, unfortunately. However, Lawrence looks like he just drove through, took the drive through that he was able to end up taking. And look at these two teammates out front. And what do you call that? I didn't quite catch the name, but some German Series Esports looks like running 1-2 in separate series classes. That's pretty special.
I'm not even going to attempt to try to say that. I can't even see it. My Alabama accent.
Man, I'm going to try it here with my Texas accent. Let's see. It goes by too quick. Something Esports. Yellow Jacket? Let's see one more time here.
Man, it looks like a yellow jacket on the side, a wasp.
Hey, you don't mess with those things down in Alabama, do you?
No. I've learned you don't mess with them. Yellow jackets, wasp, hornets. That was my high school mascot, was the hornets. But
you
don't mess with them. Take the old, what you do at night. When them yellow jackets, they all go to bed and then you take a bottle of gasoline, pour it down their hole, and they all just die in the hole. Then you don't come for me. Them things suck too.
Okay, been on the receiving end of one of those puppies. You're exactly right, man. Never fun.
You take foam and just fill up the hole. Now, funny story about. And it's kind of getting away from it. When I was a kid, me and a buddy of mine melted aluminum. Like if you melt aluminum, pour it in like an anthill, like it'll fill up all the little holes. And
yeah, I've seen YouTube videos of that, matter of fact.
Yeah, we did that one time, and it did not turn out like the YouTube videos. I'll tell you that. That thing broke apart and everything.
What broke apart? The anthill?
Yes. So we poured it in there, and then we went to pull it out, and it just broke apart and crumbled, and still managed to get stung by a bunch of ants. There's my funny story for the day.
Man, Ants and I go way back, but that might be further back than Ants and I go in itself, man. That sounds pretty intense.
Sean, for some reason the stream paused on our Discord.
Oh, I got you. I will reshare that puppy. As we get ready to go back to green flag racing here in our Porsche Cup versus NASCUP car, or league. That work for you, Justin?
Yeah, we are all good now.
All right, sweet. Looks like the pace car lights are off. The two, I'm gonna try to catch it. Green it Esports. Maybe we can jump on board with Daniel Ash on the nose cam. Still too small to tell, but some sort of Hornet there. Man,
Daniel,
when I worked
hear Panda camera something, dude. Let me try to read here.
Daniel Ash didn't take that faster pair either. Looks like his front right still a little bit damaged up. But yeah, before we get going here, my last job I worked at got stung right on the finger by a yellow jacket. So I'm hoping one of these yellow jackets honestly gets beat just for that very reason. But we're going to have to see. Is now Lawrence going to lead him to the green flag? That Porsche Cup car going to dive to safety. 13. The restart's going to be on him. Justin, I will give you all authority on this restart. Looks like Lawrence going to be an early start.
Here they go back into the corners. They all spread out, fan out. Here comes a bunch of Cup cars. Here comes Stamp. Here comes the other one. We got one car around. So they're going to dive by them, get through one clean. Got one around back there. Not sure who that is. They come up through the bus stop. Bobbing, weaving, bobbing. Look like the butterfly.
Whoa, these two Cup cars working together. Look at this.
Are they bump drafted?
It looked like it a bit through the S's now. Oh, gonna go side by side. Sean Stam with a massive lockup. You see 22 minutes out of the 30-minute mark. Now Sean's going to go wide. Dan Fendi going to hold off P3 at the moment from these Porsche Cup
make
cars.
Sure to tell Sean, remember, stay right here. Don't go straight. Good, Sean.
That's exactly what he does, Justin. Nice call. As now these drivers head through the backstretch, the 2 NASCAR Cup cars in the lead for the moment.
Yeah, they are, I think they're trying to work together here as we go on board with the Sean Stam, the Stam Studio Network hot rod. Look like they're fending off the Porsche cars pretty good.
Oh, no!
Sean into the wall as the Porsche swing by. Oh, my goodness.
You can't be making these mistakes. As honestly, look, as now we're going to hop back on board with Sean, I'm pretty sure that just completely... Look, Sean is holding his wheel 90 degrees, almost 90 degrees to the left. As well, we're getting through the S's here, but check this out. Sean, no more grip in his cars. He is thrown out the toe. Gonna have to hold his wheel about 45 degrees to the left just to go straight. Check this out.
Listen, I ain't gonna lie. I had to do that the other night in our in my league. We ran street stocks at Concord. That was our class this year.
Ooh.
And got taken out, hit the wall. It's like, man, I do not want to burn a quick repair. So here I am holding it at 45. So it worked out very well going into the corners. Because I knew when my steering wheel was straight, I was going to make it through the corners. Now, fighting it through the corner, if you know Concord, you go through too, and it's that little, little whoop-de-doo through there.
The triangle, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
okay.
It's a mini Pocono is what we kept calling it.
Well, okay, Justin, check out just for a second now how far the NASCAR is able to get away on the straightaway, but you jump right back into the corner. Man, James is right on Dan's back bumper to make a move into the S's possibly. But
yeah, that's where that Cup car is going to have the horsepower, but it's not going to have, the giddy up like the Porsche is coming off the corner. The Porsche cars, they can really dive it in there. And really get off. Oh.
We're going to take a look, see what happens here. As this was a very important part of the race going up through the S's. Does a Porsche Cup car make contact with the back of Dan?
Looks like he's going to get there. Like a little late block as the Porsche is going to get into the back. So James Francone going to get into the back. The garage 56 entry going to spin it on around. Hopefully, Dan, not too much damage. He spins around through there. James going to get through there.
Ooh!
Oh!
Well, Dan didn't have much damage until that point, but now it looks like these Porsche Cup cars are all back behind Sean Stam and his Garage 56 NASCAR
I'm not going to lie, Sean. This kind of reminds me of Pac-Man right now. With all the guns chasing him. That's what it reminds me of right now. Stam trying to do the best, fend them off like Pac-Man, but them Porsche cars are going to come on the inside. He's going to swing it wide, going to have the horsepower advantage going off into the corner here, but Porsche car really going to be able to send it a little bit further than Stam in the next-gen car.
On board with Brian LaPratte right behind him, and I mean, oh, check out Stam trying to play the defensive line. Brian going to make the crossover move, coming to the start-finish line. No, but that's NASCAR.
Or no?
Check that out.
What a move by Stam to get it back in the corner, and here all them Porsche cars. Oh, big break!
Whoa!
Oh, big break! Big break job there for the Porsche, Mr. James.
Gonna hop on board with
the
him
wall
now.
There at one point, locks it up. Does he get a little help there, or is that just on his own?
Might have to rewind that one more time for James to see if he makes contact with anybody else or if that's just himself.
Yeah, that one was. Brakes lock up, slides it in. I don't know. That's going to be one of those he said, he said it, he said differently. Hopefully James not too, a little damage there on the nose, but like he's going to continue rolling and Stam going to continue to try to fight off the Porsche Cup cars. Looks like our leaders have kind of just checked off. Lawrence and Daniel just kind of checked away here from Stam and the rest of the group.
Definitely so. It looks like, yeah, Stan Brian LaPratt fighting out for P3 and 4 now. Richard Woodruff having a great run for himself. But, man, I am super surprised to see the NASCAR Cup Car out here leading against a very, very impressive Daniel Ash. However, just a little bit of 1,000 I rating difference between the two. Lawrence, 4,700 I rating, and then Daniel, about 3,900 road I rating.
Now, if you notice, if you really watch them incrementals there, Sean, Lawrence will get that gap out there. At one point, it was about, I want to say 2.5 seconds, but Daniel really able to kind of keep it. He kind of kept it under that 2-second range. Still enough, if Lawrence makes a mistake, to try not to get into the wreck, but also keeping himself in contention in case Lawrence was to do something. We go back on board with Mr. Brian LaPlatte and Sean Stam. Stam going to get railroaded on the inside by LaPratt. Here comes another challenger.
You hate to see that for the NASCUP. Oh, that's going to get 2 for 1 down in one corner. But wait a second. Sean's going to come back down the inside. Is he going to force a move? Hang on now, folks.
Oh,
Sean's going to go wide down on exit.
Through the grass. Get some grasses. That grass needed a little trimming right there.
It did, man. Shout out our groundskeeper crew. But however, look at Richard Woodruff, as now they're going to look almost 3 wide. Sean Stam going to make the crossover move.
What a move by Stam.
Holy smokes, down the backstretch. Going to play some defense down in the last 2 corners. James Andrew back in the rear bumper of Sean Stam, but doesn't look like there's enough pace in Sean's NASCAR G56 to make a move. As a little bit of contact coming into the last corner.
And don't forget, folks, Stam has got damage, so he's not able. The steering wheel is not straight up and down. He's got a little bit of degree angle there, but Stam doing the best he can with what he's got here. As we're winding down, clock's going to hit 2 minutes right now. So, probably what, Sean, you think? Oh, we got one around right there. Not sure who that was. Was that LaPratt? Did
Looks
LaPratt
like
lose it there off the corner? That is LaPratt.
That is Brian LaPratt. Good call, Justin. Brian goes around on a little bit more ballast that I have added to the Porsche Cups to keep them within distance of the NASCAR Cup Car. Is now Sean's going to lead him back down the backstretch for P4, excuse me.
Yeah, Sean trying to run down Mr. Woodruff. And also try to keep James Andrew, Travis Farmer, Frank Hone, all behind him here. Its time is running down. We're at 1:30 left in the race.
1:30 going to be coming to that white flag. James Francone just coming off of a great run down there in Bathurst, home track for him, down in that Pass Season 3 series. But completely different car, Porsche Cup Car, no ABS or TC, fighting for that P7 place. Looks like Lawrence Daniel as James Andrew going to be a huge incident coming to the last turn of coming to the last lap. James Andrew just loops it trying to catch Sean Stam in that NASCAR Cup Car. All 3 Porsches going to go around.
Like Pac-Man's going to win this one.
You hate to see that because, man, they had the pace to be up here. But however, Lawrence still up out here in the lead. Matter of fact, coming through the bus stop now. Daniel just now entering the bus stop. Richard coming up to the S's. And then Sean Stam just now entering the S's on this white flag lap brought to you by Stam Studio Network.
Yeah, these 2 guys, they have been the class of the field. The rest of the guys kind of way behind, but Ash and Lawrence have been really going at it here.
Matter of fact, Lawrence going to go ahead and solidify it this time by. Congratulations, Lawrence, our first winner in the NASCAR Cup Car, goes to the 1-3. Lawrence gonna claim Watkins Glen Cup layout as his own. Unfortunate run for Daniel Ash. Had the pace there in practice, but going to end up P2 with a little bit of damage, unfortunately, coming from Sean Stam. Richard Woodruff coming home P3. And, man, how about this, Justin? There goes a NASCAR Cup Car. I'm on P4.
Yeah. Sean going to bring it home P4. Little damage, but got it figured out kind of as the run went and finished it off with a good P4 finish.
Looks like white flag lap out now, so just going to solidify it this time by. But man, as these gaps are about 5 to 7 seconds each, car would not doubt if there's just a little bit of leeway between the two classes as far as finishing position goes. Lawrence this time going to round our second to last corner, coming to the last corner now. You see Daniel in the distance, but not just close enough. Lawrence, matter of fact, this time, hang with us, folks, this time is going to lead us, matter of fact, take us to the checkered flag. Congratulations, Lawrence Shevilic, P1 here at Watkins Glen's Cup layout. Daniel Ash, P2.
Right on board with Mr. Woodrock. Coming through the final corner as he's going to bring it on around for the Porsche Cup guys and finish P3. It's a good run there to round out our podium.
Sean Stam, coming to the line. Hang on now, buddy.
That's where the horsepower comes in for the Cup guys. Sean Stam going to bring it up, lock it up there, going in the last corner. So he's going to beat Mr. James Francone to the line there. James will round out our top 5 here at Watkins Glen.
James Andrew, P6. Dan Fendi, P7. Little bit of damage to the, a lot of bit of damage to the right front. Matter of fact, the toe might not even be going as the way as Dan hoped it to be. But man, appreciate you all joining us in here tonight on Sam Studio Network, bringing you this Porsche Cup versus NASCUP. I guess you call it a 1v1. We're going to take a little bit of an off week next week for the series as the Daytona 24 comes to the iRacing drivers as they try to take that on. But Justin Yaw, I appreciate you joining me up in the booth. And how about, again, that NASCAR Gen 7 taking a win?
Yeah, I think obviously Lawrence took advantage of it. Didn't have a lot of practice, but I think once he got his groove settled in, he was ready to roll. Daniel, good solid P2 finish, and Richard going to round out our podium. It'll be interesting to see as we get ready to go to Legacy Phoenix and see really where each car stands in its own. Whether, the high horsepower Cup cars can really just take advantage, or either the P Cup guys, the Porsche Cup guys can try to make it a ball game. So it'll be interesting to see at Phoenix.
Iron Boogsy, we appreciate you joining in that YouTube chat if you're still with us. Talked a lot. I see I didn't answer all of your questions there, but man, America Raw is quite frankly how you describe the NASCAR Cup Car performance today. Join us not next weekends, but the one after. We'll be at Phoenix Raceway. That's Legacy. I know it looks like Charlotte, but we'll be at Phoenix. Trust me there. League ID 10931 if you want to join the Porsche Cup versus NASCUP. Justin, I appreciate you joining in tonight. Hopefully you're able, again, to join us in that short track series starting next weekend, next Saturday at 6 p.m. Central. Anything else you want to add before go ahead and send it off tonight?
Do not, Mr. Sean. Appreciate you letting me join in. Folks, hope you that tuned in on YouTube. Hope you enjoyed the show. Make sure to tune in with us as we head to Legacy Phoenix in 2 weeks, and we'll see you then.
Take a look at Legacy Phoenix. Well, this is actually real Phoenix now, but this is what the view is going to be like for these drivers 2 weeks from now. Join us. Hopefully, Justin back up in the booth. I will be there. Sean Stam Studio Network. Join us next time, and have a great rest of your night. Thanks again, folks.